Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Twisdale here to read with you the weathering and erosion passage. My allergies are kicking in today, so my nose is a little stuffy. Okay, what is weathering? Weathering changes solid rock into sediments. Sediments are different sizes of rock particles. Boulders are sediments, so is gravel. Silt and clay are also sediments, but much smaller in size compared to boulders or gravel. Weathering causes rocks on the Earth's surface to change form. I taught my students that weathering is when rocks are broken into smaller rocks called sediments. It takes a long time for a rock or a mountain to weather. Now, this type of weather is different than like clouds and sunshine and such. It's weather as in to break rocks. So it's the same word used in two different ways. Roads can weather quicker than a rock in nature. If you live in a part of a world that has cold winters, you might only have to wait 1 year to see a new road start to weather. You ever see these holes in the road? That's caused by weathering. It's causing the road to break. Physical weathering breaks rocks into smaller pieces called sediments. These smaller pieces are just like the bigger rock, but smaller. The rock is broken without changing its composition or what it's made out of. The smaller pieces have the same minerals. You could use the idiom "a chip off the old block" to describe physical weathering. The main agents of physical weathering are water movement, freezing, plant growth. Okay, I'm trying, but it's not working. And wind. So water, freezing water, plants, and wind cause the most weathering. How does water cause things to weather? As precipitation or rain strikes against a rock, some minerals break down easier than others. This causes rocks to break into smaller pieces. This breakdown of sediment can also be caused by other water sources such as streams, lakes, and rivers. So as water flows through a river and rushes against the rock on the side, it will pull that rock away and weather it down and break it off. Freezing. Weathering by freezing, sometimes referred to as ice wedging, is common where the temperature goes above and below freezing. Weathering by freezing happens when water seeps into cracks in rocks and then freezes. There's a picture right here. Let's see. Get my cool little focus laser. As the water freezes, it turns from a liquid to a solid, and it expands, pushing the rock apart. This creates a larger crack, allowing more water to gather, creating an even larger crack. And every time it freezes, it cracks it a little bit more, until eventually it can all the way crack apart. This is how ice wedging works. When liquid water changes into solid ice, it increases in volume. You can see this when you fill an ice cube tray with water and put it in the freezer. The ice cubes expand to a higher level in the tray than what the water level originally was. You may also have seen this if you put a can of soda into the freezer so that it cools down quickly. If you leave the can in the freezer too long, the liquid expands so much that it bends or even pops the can. That's happened to me before. It scared me so bad when the can popped because it had gotten too big in the freezer. You can find large piles of broken rock at the base of a slope. These rocks were broken up by freezing water. Plants and animals and weathering. Sometimes biological elements cause mechanical weathering. This can happen slowly. A plant's roots may grow into a crack in a rock. As the roots grow larger, they wedge open that crack. So as the plant grows, it can push through a rock. Burrowing animals can also cause weathering. By digging for food or creating a hole to live in, the animal may break apart rock. Today, humans do a lot of mechanical weathering wherever we dig or blast into rock. This is common when we build homes, rocks, tunnels, or quarry stones for construction or other uses. Gravity and moving water cause rocks to bump against each other, causing rocks to break down. Strong winds also cause weathering by blowing sand against rock surfaces. Finally, the ice and moving glaciers can cause weathering. Pieces of rock embedded in ice at the bottom of a glacier scrape against the rock below as the glacier slowly moves downhill. If you have ever collected beach glass or pebbles from a stream, you have witnessed another example of weathering. Rocks on a beach are worn down by weathering as passing waves cause them to strike each other. That's all for our passage today. Remember that weathering is the breaking down of rocks by water, freezing, plant growth, and wind. Thanks. Bye.